It's time.
It's time for a new episode of TMG.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to TMG. I'm your host, Travis Patton Sr. I enjoy discovering and sharing real-life moments of inspiration from everyday people. And this show is about finding moments of inspiration for our everyday lives. And look, and if you're going to tell me something, then tell me something good. Hi, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of TMG. That's Tell Me Something Good. I'm your host, Travis Patton Sr. Guys, you know how we like to do it. Before we get started, I want to give a huge shout out to my biggest supporter, my biggest fan, my lovely wife, Nicole. Hey, girl, how you doing? I know you're watching. I know you're listening. Guys, today is actually a very special day. Before I go further, it is actually my wedding anniversary. That's right. Nicole and I have been married 10 years today. And we were just talking, and we said it doesn't even seem like it has been 10 years. But we are celebrating our 10th year anniversary of being married today. That's right, May the 25th. Actually, it's the 24th, which was yesterday. But we're celebrating it. So thank you, Nicole, for sticking around for 10 years. Guys, listen, you know how we like to do it. Don't forget to visit our YouTube page. That's Tell Me Something Good with a capital T. It's right there on your screen. Guys, listen, you know how we like to do things here at TMG. Guys, everyone, look, in a really short time, I say this all the time, this show has taken off. And it's being heard in not just here in the U.S., but in nations around the globe. Great nations like Egypt, India, Canada, just to name a few. So to everyone tuning in around the world, wherever you may be hearing my voice right now, thank you for tuning in and welcome to the show. Guys, you know, one of the things I like about TMG is that this show is all about finding moments of inspiration from everyday people like you and like me, right? So if you have an inspiring story that you would like to tell, guys, drop us a line. Your email address is right there on your screen. It's tellme something21@gmail.com. And if you're going to go back and listen to this and you're not watching the broadcast, it's TELLME something SUMTHIN 21@gmail.com. Now, maybe you're a little camera shy and you saying, Travis, man, I don't want to come on camera, but I know someone who has a great story that would love to share with your audience and share with everybody. Drop us an email. Let us know what the information is. God, listen, whether if this is your first time tuning in to the show, guys, let me tell you, thank you. Thank you so much for dropping in, for dropping by, whether it was by accident or somebody told you. Either way, I'm glad you decided to join the show today. And if you have been watching the show and down with the show for 3 years that we've been streaming, guys, I'm so glad that you are here. It's because of you that the show keeps going on and just keeps getting better. Guys, I want to go ahead and take care of some business before we dive into the show. Now, you know that we have a couple of affiliate sponsors here on TMG, and I want to make sure that I provide an opportunity for you to take advantage and listen to our sponsors. Now, there will be a special link I will place in the chat that you can visit these sponsors. One of our special affiliate sponsors is Walmart. That's right. Walmart is an affiliate sponsor of TMG, Tell Me Something Good podcast. And guys, what I want you to do is click on that special link that you see in the chat and just do what you normally do. Shop using that link. Keep in mind, I may earn a commission when you buy through that link. And the other sponsor is Fanatics.com. Listen, I'm a huge sports fan, a football fan, college and pro. And my wife is also, so I get a lot of our jerseys from there. So guys, visit Fanatics.com from the link that's in the chat. Let me go ahead and roll this information for that. When we come back, we're going to get live. We're going to get into the show. Walmart is a proud associate sponsor of TMG, Tell Me Something Good podcast. Please use the special link in the chat to visit our sponsor today. Remember, I may earn a commission when you buy through this link. Fanatics.com is the place for your officially licensed sports gear from your favorite sports and sports team. Click the link in the chat to get started. Remember, I may earn a commission when you buy through this link. There we go, guys. Let's get into it now. If you did not catch it, today's topic is take the day off. Yeah, today's topic, guys, is take the day off. Yeah, I know some of you already talking about taking a day off. Right now, as the summer months come up, people are beginning to figure out and think about and begin to plan their time off, their vacation. But today's topic, take the day off. Guys, we're going to dive right into it. You know, I'm going to throw some things up here real quick. When you talk about taking the day off, some of us kind of get the picture of a good getaway. Just get in the car or your truck and for a really good getaway. Or maybe your thing is sitting down at the beach, right? Listen to the water, the sand between your toes, or maybe you kind of like the palm trees and you just like to sit there and let the wind blow in your hair if you still have hair, unlike me. But you're sitting there and enjoying it. Or maybe your idea of relaxation is this, just lounging around the house in your hammock, having fun, enjoying yourself. But many of us, whatever your idea of that is, many of us look forward to the moments we can either walk into the office at work or type on the computer and put in our request for our days off. And from that moment on, we either place a circle on a calendar or a reminder in our devices. And then we wait. We wait for the time, and we wait for that moment that, you know what I'm talking about? We wait for that moment where that last day before your vacation, you wait for that moment where you can walk in, that very special moment that we can step away and say, see you later, adios, goodbye, deuces, or whatever you say, or simply say, I'm out, and just leave. But we look for that special moment that we can kind of say goodbye, and all just for a little while to kind of put everything behind us and enjoy ourselves. Yeah, I don't know about you, but when it's time to go on a trip, I look forward for those moments, those times, those days. I can say, I'm out. And you can kind of put everything behind you and just kind of forget about it for a while and enjoy yourself. Am I right? Now, when I was doing this episode, I was thinking about it and studying. I began to wonder and think about it. Now, we as people, we take trips for all sorts of reasons. Am I right? We could take trips for all sorts of reasons, from health reasons, for relationship reasons. But one of those reasons people take trips is to appreciate the hard work that they've put in. Yeah, one of the reasons we do take these trips is to appreciate all of our hard work that we've put in. I mean, you've worked hard, sometimes 7 days a week, and you put in that hard work, and you say, I deserve this trip. So you take the trip to appreciate all the hard work you've put in, because who doesn't want to feel appreciated? Am I right? I mean, it doesn't matter if you are a cashier or a waitress, a neuroscientist or a judge. People want to feel appreciated. Now, some will go shopping just to get that feeling, or others might go hang out with their friends at different places just to get that feeling. And even if we didn't have much to spend, we just want to feel appreciated. We just want to feel appreciated. Now, even if we didn't have much to spend, we just want to feel appreciated. Have you ever done something just so you could feel appreciated? I know some people, they go shop, they go on these shopping binges, or they buy themselves these things, or they go hang out with their friends. Have you ever done something just to feel appreciated? Now, be honest with yourself. Now, I know we may have justified it with other things, but have you ever done something just to feel appreciated? And even when we take the time off from work, sometimes it doesn't mean something has come up. It could be just to get away and feel appreciated. I mean, you at work 6-7 days a week, and you get into that grind of work, and you're going from one task to the next task, from this meeting to the next meeting, or maybe whatever your task is, whatever your job is, you're going from one task to the next task. Time you walk into the door, there's a list of things for you to do. Time you come back from lunch, there's another list of things for you to do. Before you leave, there's a list of things you have to do the following day. So sometimes you take off from work. It's not because some accident has happened. It's not because some emergency has taken place. Sometimes we do a getaway just to feel appreciated because we all want to feel appreciated. Am I right about that? I mean, I don't care. We all have that sense where we just want to feel appreciated. Have you ever, guess me ask you a question, have you ever heard someone tell you about a trip that they went on? Right? Have you ever had someone to tell you about a trip they went on? I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right? How when people come back from their trip, how they tell you everything they did and every place they went and everything they saw. They post all types of pictures of them in different poses on social media. I mean, even the dog is on vacation with them. We have listened to everybody's good news. And it seems like we haven't had a chance to say our good news yet. We stood by at work or social media in groups and gatherings, and we have listened to everybody's good news, and sometimes it feels like we haven't had a chance to say our good news yet. And honestly, if we be honest, there are times and there are moments we are left feeling like saying, when am I going to get a chance to tell my story? When am I going to be able to share my good news? Or when am I going to be appreciated? Yeah, when am I? When am I going to be appreciated? Listen, here's what I thought about good news. This what came to my mind. This is what something that came to my mind when I was thinking about good news, right? The interesting thing about good news is this. Now, I know we hear our coworkers and our friends tell their good news, right? And they done told us all the things they did on their trips. They told us everything they've done. They told us all the good things that's happening with their family. The child's graduated college, child's graduated high school, and everybody is sharing their good news. Here's the interesting thing about good news that you should keep in mind. The interesting thing about good news is this. Good news is not restricted to your coworkers. Good news is not restricted by race, culture, gender, ethnicity, or individual identification. Yeah. Good news, man. Good news does not have boundaries. It does not have borders. It does not take political sides. Well, you know what I'm saying? Republicans can have good news just as much as the Democrats can have good news. Listen, good news will hit a shack like it can a mansion. Good news will travel from a ditch to a front office. Listen, don't you understand that good news can find you even when other folks aren't looking for you? Yeah, good news is on a hunt for you. It's on a search for you. Don't you understand? Good news can find you when nobody else is looking for you. I believe that some good news might be looking for you. I'm just saying, I don't know. Maybe some good news is looking for you right now. Good news will hit a shack like it will a mansion. It will find you when no one else is even looking for you. You don't even have to be on their radar. You don't even have to be on their mailing list or even in their group chat. And what good news will find you. And it's about time we have some good news. Come on. If you know that it's about time for some good news, let me hear you say, yeah, me too. Yeah, it's about time for some good news. Yeah, I know you listened to your friend, you heard your coworker, you heard your relative, but maybe some is looking for you. I don't know, but I do know that good news is not restricted just to the people who've been telling it to you. It's not restricted just to your coworker who's always on a trip, who's always posting pictures, who always got something to say. Don't you know it will find you when no one else is looking for you? But what we have to understand is this. What we have to understand about good news is this. Good news is relative to the individual that you are speaking to. Think about that. Depending on who you are speaking to, it depends on if that news is good or not. Good news is relative to the individual that you are speaking to. Good news to a stockbroker is that the stock market is trading at good points. Good news to a business owner is that profits are up and losses are down. Man, listen, good news to a single parent is that they are able to take care of their child and see that they are happy. Good news to a farmer. Yeah, good news to a farmer is that there's rain in the forecast and that the drought is over. Listen, what we have to begin to understand is this about good news. One person's storm can turn out to be another person's blessing. Yeah, one person's storm can turn out to be another person's blessing. What might spoil your plans might help them feed their family. Yeah. So good news is relative depending on who you're speaking to. Can it be, and think about this, one person's storm can turn out to be another person's blessing. Yeah, it could be just what they're looking for. It could be just what they are looking for. Can it be? Think about this for a second. Can it be that we spend so much time trying to avoid situations that we don't stop to think of its possibilities or benefits? Think about it for a minute. Can it be we spend so much time trying to avoid situations that we don't stop to think of its possibilities or the benefits of it? And I know we'll plan things and we hope things work out and it rains, but maybe something good came from the rain. Just maybe something good came out of this. Can it be that we spend so much time trying to avoid situations that we don't stop to think of its possibilities or benefits? Or sometimes we try to avoid people and we stop to think, if it wasn't for this person, if it wasn't this, have you ever stopped to think of the possibilities of the people, of the benefits of the people that we don't like? I know that's some deep thinking. That's some different kind of thinking right there. The rain may not be what we want sometimes, but without it, nothing grows. Yeah, nothing grows. We may not want it to rain, but without it, nothing grows. Isn't it ironic, though, right? Isn't that kind of ironic? Think about it. The same thing that spoils our plans on one hand, on the other hand, can be the same thing that we've been looking forward to. And yeah, on the one hand, the rain falling can spoil the plans we have. But on the other hand, the rain is getting water to the ground and getting water to the crops. So the next time we go to the store, there are things to buy because it rained. I don't know about you, so the rain spoiled my plans over here, but it gave me what I needed over here. Isn't that kind of ironic? On one hand, it spoils our plans, and on the other hand, it gives us just what we've been looking for. That's how I look at. That's how our relationships with people are sometimes. Some of the same folks that we didn't want to leave us. Some of the same people that we cried over and felt sad about. Sometime later, we found out that it was good that they are no longer around. On the other hand, listen, or the job that we thought we had to have, after they laid us off, after they fired us, after they let us go, it was better because maybe the company went out of business. And had we stayed, we would have been unemployed. I know we wanted the job. I know we cried because we lost it. I know we felt bad because we were no longer there. I know we were worried about how we're going to take care of our families, how we're going to do different things. But now that you're in a place where you can do that and you look back and you say, man, had I stayed with that company, I would have been unemployed. Had I stayed with that individual, my life would be like this. Maybe the rain was a good thing. Maybe them leaving was a good thing. Maybe that's good news right there. So just for a moment. So can we pause right there? Can we pause right here for a moment? Guys, can we pause for a moment and just be glad that some things did not go our way? Yeah, can we be glad for just a couple of minutes that I'm glad that some things did not go my way? I know you had a plan. I know you put it together. I know you thought about it. But after you look back and you see how it would have happened if you had done it that way, is there anybody that's glad that some things did not go our way? Maybe is there anything about ourselves maybe that we was hoping would go another way, and if it had, it would have never worked out the better way. Now I know you may have wanted to be taller, but if you had been taller, you would have never stood out the way you did. You would have never been get recognized. You would have never been seen. They would have never paid attention to your potential. If you had to fit in like everybody else, if you looked like everybody else, if you sounded like everybody else, if you acted like everybody else, you never would have stood out. You never would have sticked out. They never would have paid attention to you. It's because you didn't stand up like everybody else. It's because you stuck out. That's the reason you got their attention. That's the reason they paid attention to you. Maybe it's because you didn't fit in. Maybe it's because you did not look like everybody else. Maybe it's because you did not sound like everyone else. But I get it. Maybe you wanted to sing like someone else, but it was your writing skills that got their attention. It wasn't your muscles that won the day. It was your mind. It was your thoughts. Yeah, it's what you had up here. It's what you had between your ears. Yeah, that's what really stuck out. That's what really got their attention. That's what really got the yeah. I know you thought if I look like everybody else, I'll be appreciated. If I sound like everybody else, I'll be appreciated. If I do it the way the other person did, then I'll be appreciated. Can you just for 1 minute appreciate everything that's different about yourself. Appreciate. You might be 4'5", but appreciate yourself. You might be 5'3", but appreciate yourself. You might be 6'9", but appreciate yourself. Yeah, that's some good news right there. Yeah, I'm glad some things didn't work out for me the way I wanted to them to. That's some good news right there. Type it in chat. Say it to yourself. That's some good news right there. I'm glad everything did not work out how I expected it to. That's some good news right there. Yeah, just say that right there to yourself. Listen, when we mention appreciating ourselves, right? When we mention appreciating ourselves, we're talking about, and guys, I want you to pay attention to this right here. When we're mentioning appreciating ourselves, we're talking about learning to realize, and catch this, we're talking about learning to realize that you are worth more than you've been through. Yeah, that deserves to be repeated. When we talk about learning to appreciate yourself, what we're talking about is realizing that you are worth more than you've been through. Listen, when diamonds were discovered in Africa in 1867, children were using and playing with them as rocks. Yeah, they had diamonds. Didn't know what they were. Nobody knew what they were. They just had them. They just tossing them around, playing with them like they were rocks. You know how you get a rock and you go to a lake or you go to a stream of water and you skipping rocks. They're just skipping diamonds and just throwing rocks around. I had no idea. Had no idea that these diamonds, that these rocks that they were throwing around were valuable, that they were diamonds. They were playing with them as rocks. They were being kicked around and tossed to the side until word got out. Yeah, after word got out, they realized what they were kicking around and what they were throwing around. Now, you got to get this. You got to get this. Now, the diamonds were valuable all along, even while they were overlooking them, even while they were tossing them to the side, even while they were throwing them over their shoulder and overlooking them. What I'm saying to you is this. You were valuable while you were being overlooked. Listen, they couldn't even figure out what these stones were. They had no idea what these stones were. They couldn't even figure out what these stones were because most people had never even seen a diamond before. They only read about them in books. Listen, you were valuable when they couldn't figure you out. When many people had never even seen a diamond before in their life. I said that to say this. Listen, you are one of a kind, and they ain't never seen nothing like you before. Yeah, they couldn't even describe you. Yeah, you're one of a kind. They never seen nothing like you before. Listen, and that is why you are so important. That is why you mean so much, because they ain't never seen nothing like you before. And all of this happened on the continent of Africa. They even tried, listen, when they found these rocks, they even tried to selling them to neighboring towns and villages, but no one wanted them. Isn't that something? Isn't that how it is? You go from one relationship and nobody wanted you. You go to the next relationship and nobody appreciated you. You get the friends you thought you had to have and nobody appreciated you. You get in the group you thought you had to be a part of and nobody appreciated you. You get the people, you get the job, you get in the neighborhood you thought you had to be, and nobody appreciated. You're in the room, you get the deal, the business deal you thought you had to have. You graduate from the school you thought you needed to graduate from, and nobody appreciated you. You do everything you thought you had to do. You cross all your T's, you dot all the I's, and nobody wanted them. Nobody showed appreciation to them. You do everything somebody else did, but nobody appreciated them. What I'm saying, listen, here's what I'm saying to you is this. You can't wait until someone else decides if you should be appreciated. You can't wait until somebody else decides to make up their minds about you and begin celebrating and appreciating you. I want you to think about this. All of this commotion about these diamonds being found began on the continent of Africa, where children were playing with the diamonds as rocks. Yeah, the children who lived on this continent were playing with the diamonds as rocks. They lived there. They were born there. They've seen these rocks before. And they're playing with them as rocks. So this means don't be surprised when those who say they know you best don't appreciate you the way you should. The children of the continent were playing with the diamonds like rocks, but couldn't recognize what was already there. Don't become too surprised if those who you are in close relationship with and those who you are in close proximity with may not recognize who you are. Yeah, they may be in close proximity to you, but they may not recognize who you are. They may see you every day, but not recognize who you are. They may text you every morning, but not recognize who you are. There are people that will text you an endless message, but still not recognize who you are. They'll spend time texting you, then rather spend time getting to know you, but not recognize who you are. Listen, it wasn't until they sent the diamonds to a geologist who was able to identify what they were. Now, they had to send the rocks to someone who wasn't even on the continent of Africa. He did not even live on the same continent that the rocks, that the diamonds were found on. He did not even live there. He was somewhere in England. They had to send the diamonds someplace else in order to be identified. Sometimes it will be strangers who might appreciate you more than those who say they recognize you. Yeah, if the appreciation you want, if the appreciation that you want comes from someone that's different than you, don't turn it away just because it didn't come from who you expected. I know you thought it was going to come from this person, but don't turn it away. Just because it comes from someone different than you expected, don't turn it away. Just because they got tattoos don't turn it away. Just because they of a different race, don't turn it away. Just because they identify themselves differently than you, don't turn it away. Just because they have a different culture, don't turn it away. Listen, it took someone who wasn't even on the same continent to identify just how valuable these things were, just how appreciated they should be. Don't turn it away just because the appreciation didn't come from what you thought it would be. Some of us have this hang up that if something isn't coming from the people we are looking for, then we won't accept it. So when the word spread about what was found, people came from everywhere. When they found out, listen, do you think that when people found out that there was diamonds in South Africa, that nobody was going to come? Did you think nobody was going to show up? Did you think you weren't going to get anybody's attention? Did you think you were going to stay under the radar? Listen, with your potential and your abilities, did you think you would forever just be a quiet person? You can't just be this quiet, mousy person with your potential. When they found out everything that you could do, did you think you were just going to be this quiet person? Oh no, you were going to get somebody's attention. They found out about these diamonds. All kinds of people showed up. Yeah, all kinds of people showed up because what they came to see, because what they came for was worth the trip. Yeah, it was worth the effort. Get this, if you don't get anything else that I'm saying, if you don't get anything else, you need to get this right here. You are worth the effort. Yeah, you are worth the effort. You are worth the effort for someone to get to know. You are worth the effort for someone to take the time to see who you are. Yeah, if anybody from this point on, if anybody wants to deal with you, they're going to have to get their hands dirty. Listen, when these people wanted these diamonds, they had to dig in the dirt. They had to get a little messy. They had to get their hands dirty. They had to put some effort into it. If they want to get to know you, oh, you're going to have to put your hands into it. You are worth the effort. You are worth the trip. Yeah, listen, they may have to dig some. They may have to book a flight, catch a boat, or a train. But the days of things being easy for them are over. Those pushover days are gone. You are worth the effort. You won't just be able to text me and think I'm just going to do what you want. Oh, no. You are worth the effort. If you want to get to know you, listen, you're going to have to get your hands dirty. You might have to dig a little bit. You might have to sit and talk a little bit. You might have to talk a little while. I know you thought it was going to be easy as it was before, but it won't be that easy because I'm worth the effort. You ought to put that in chat right now. Say that to yourself. Now, you know that I'm a big believer of positive confession. You ought to say that to yourself. I'm worth the effort. I'm worth it. I'm worth it. I'm worth it. I'm worth it. Say it to yourself right now. Say it in the morning. Say it in the afternoon. Say it to yourself before you go to bed. Say it to yourself throughout the day. I'm worth the effort. Listen, and you have to know you are a diamond. Yeah, you have to know that you are a diamond. While they were playing with you and while they were trying to figure you out what you were and who you are, listen, you can't wait until they make up their minds to appreciate you. You can't wait for someone else to make up their mind and decide to appreciate you. You have to make up your own mind and shine anyhow. Yeah, and shine anyhow. Listen, when they found these rocks, in Africa, there was no word in their language to adequately describe what these rocks were. There was no word to adequately describe it. There was no word called diamond at the time for them to adequately describe in the African tongue what these were. So what they called them was Blink Khalipa. Blink Khalipa. That's what they called them. The name they gave to these rocks, to these diamonds, was Blink Khalipa, which means bright stone. Yeah, you gotta make up your mind that you're gonna shine anyhow, that you're gonna be a Blink Khalipa. Yeah, I'm a bright stone. I know you thought I was dull. I know you thought I was ordinary. I know you thought I was just like everybody else. I know you thought there was no difference between me and the last person you was with. But baby, I'm a Blink Khalipa. I'm a bright stone. Yeah, I know that they thought that you will always be the same kind of person you was the last time. I know they thought there was nothing to you. I know that they thought you was ordinary. Blink Khalipa. I'm a bright stone. Yeah, I got some shine to me, baby. You ain't never seen nothing like this before. The next time you feel ordinary, the next time something says you're no better than anybody else, the next time you begin to feel down on yourself, Blink Khalipa. I'm a bright stone. I got some shine to me. Yeah, even while they're still struggling to call you by who you are instead of what you were, keep shining. Even if they don't understand you, keep shining. Yeah, Blink Khalipa. I'm going to shine. You might not be able to describe me. You might call me strange. You might call me weird. Blink Khalipa. And listen, when you mention to someone about learning to love and appreciate themselves, they think you're becoming arrogant. They do. I kid you not. When you begin to say you want to start appreciating yourself, people start thinking you're talking about becoming arrogant. And that's not even the case. Your mind is not even there. I'm not talking about being arrogant and walking around with your nose stuck up in the air, believing you're better than anyone else on the planet. That's not what we're talking about when we're talking about appreciating yourself. They think you're becoming arrogant. Listen, the only reason they feel you are becoming arrogant is because you've made up your mind that you will no longer be the victim. Listen, let me share this with you. An abuser will always think it's arrogance when its victims decides to no longer be victimized. Yeah. An abuser will always think that the victim is being arrogant when they no longer want to be the victim. It's not that I'm arrogant. I just don't want to be your victim anymore. It's not that I think that I'm better than anyone. I just don't want to be the victim anymore. And when I mean victim, I don't want to be the victim of my negativity. I don't want to be the victim of my low self-esteem. I don't want to be the victim of my low self-worth. I don't want to be the victim of every negative thing someone said about me. I choose not to be the victim anymore. Yeah, I choose not to be the victim of my own thoughts, the victim of your words, the victim of their words, the victim of somebody else's emotions. I'm not going to be the victim of your emotions. I'm not even going to be the victim of my emotions. It's not arrogancy. I just don't want to be the victim. An abuser will always think it's arrogant. But most times, what many of us do is we treat appreciation of ourselves like a vacation or a holiday. Yeah, we treat appreciation of ourselves like a vacation or a holiday. What I mean is this. It's something we only do once in a while or maybe on a special day. We only do it once a year. You only do it once a year. Your birthday, holiday, Christmas, whatever it is. You only appreciate yourself once a year. One day out of the year. We treat it like it's a holiday. We treat it like a vacation. We only do it once in a while. We only pack and prepare for it once in a while. But listen, we only pack and prepare for it once in a while. But don't you think after this pandemic, after your struggle, after your problem, after your issue, after what you had to deal with, but after everything you had to face to even think about a day off, and after everything you had to face to even approach a day off, let me tell you something. It's time to pack and prepare. Yeah, after all you've already had to deal with on one hand, and all you had to deal with on the other hand, listen, it's time to pack and prepare. You might be interrupting someone's schedule about you, but pack and prepare. They might say, well, I don't think you should celebrate. Pack and prepare. They may have already placed you in a box, but pack and prepare. They might say, well, people like you don't get to pack and prepare. They say, well, where you grew up from, pack and prepare. They may say, people of your race, of your culture, baby, pack and prepare. They may say, well, you know, you're too old. You're not too old. Pack and prepare. They may say, well, nobody else in our family. Pack and prepare. They may not be ready for you yet, but pack and prepare. What I mean by pack and prepare is this. Take everything with you that you think you might need. You know how when you go on a trip and when you get ready to go on a trip, you take with you everything you think you might need. Yeah, you take with you everything you think you might need. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take that. I'm going to take a little bit of this. I'm going to take some of this. I'm going to take all of this. When you're ready to go on a trip, you start putting everything that you need in your suitcase. So what I mean when I say pack, you take everything that you think you might need. Take your self-confidence, take your self-worth, take your peace of mind, take your creativity, take your ingenuity, take your uniqueness, take your identity, take everything they said you would never need. Take everything that you talked yourself out of. Pack and prepare. Take everything that they said that you wouldn't have. I'm taking it. Take it. I'm taking everything. If I think I need it, I'm taking it. I'm not just taking one pair of shoes. I'm taking every pair I got. I'm not just taking one outfit. I'm taking every outfit I've got. I'm going to put everything I got into this. Yeah, put everything you got into this because you have put it off long enough. You have put off appreciating yourself long enough. You have placed yourself on the back burner long enough. Listen, don't you understand? If you leave anything on the back burner of the stove long enough, it will eventually burn up too. It's been long enough. When was the last time you said something good about yourself? Yeah, when was the last time you gave yourself a compliment? Listen, for a while, the only source that everybody knew about diamonds, the only source that people knew about diamonds were in Brazil. Yeah, in Brazil. For 150 years, Brazil was the main source for diamonds until somebody found some shiny rocks in Africa, until somebody found some blink Khalipa in Africa, until somebody found some shiny rocks in an unusual and unexpected place. For 150 years, that's a long time. But it's been a long time coming for you. You celebrated other people, and we should. You stood up and applauded for other people, and we should. But this applause is for you. This applause is for you. I'm sorry nobody applauded for you. I'm sorry nobody appreciated you. But this applause is for you. Maybe it's time you celebrate and appreciate yourself and take the day off. Guys, it's about this time, and as always, it's been a real blast. Don't forget to visit our YouTube page. That's Tell Me Something Good with the capital T. Guys, and again, happy anniversary to you, Nicole. Girl, I'm glad we're still here. Guys, look, listen, don't forget you can tune in right here each Thursday at our new time, 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific to listen to the show. And you can stream your favorite episodes on your favorite platform, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Pandora, and many others. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, important, if you're going to tell me something, then tell me something good. I'm out of here. I got to go. Peace, y'all.